Greetings, YouTube. I haven't done a video about this since the issue happened last week, and I know that's annoyed a couple people who behind the scenes have said that I should be doing more on my channel to bring awareness, but I like to wait, generally, for updates before I make videos that talk about updates. When I first started this channel 5 years ago, I would sometimes prematurely make a video talking about what I hoped would happen, and more often than not, I would be wrong. So it's better for me to take a little bit of heat from people who are being impatient behind the scenes for me to address something and then have something to read from the forums than speculate, be reckless, and then look like I'm just trying to score some cheap views by putting out a video earlier than I should. So you grow. People always say they like it when people grow, but if you don't make mistakes, there's nothing to learn and grow from. So I try to remind myself of that too. So last week we had the Nexus debacle where two things happened. First, it was listed as the usual, like today's Kamala Khan Nexus, 2 Nexus crystals for $5. We've seen this Lord knows how many times, maybe 50 plus times in terms of offer chances by now. But when you went to the unit store to buy it, it gave you not 2, but 1, even though in the official description of the sale, it said you're supposed to get 2. So quite a few people bought it. Now, they were only missing, well, they were totally missing half the crystals. They were missing 1 out of 2. But then on top of that, the second thing that happened, and several of you sent screenshots to me from this, even though I didn't do a video on this, I would talk about it in this video. Then something weird happened where even though it was supposed to be limit 1, people could buy it twice because it came back once it was fixed for those who had already bought it and said limit 0. So you want to talk about a glitch in the purchase system. A few people even messaged me with this question of like, if I buy this, am I going to get banned? No. And as far as I know, I was right. That didn't happen. Well, of course, there are still several people out there who are missing 1 of the crystals because they only got 1. So Mail says 2 Nexus crystals, but only got 1. Anyone else facing the issue? You see a bunch of people say the same thing. They show the in-game message info, 2 Cavalier Nexus, Worship and Wonder crystals, limit 1. Yep, missing 1, 1, 1. So all these people got 1 Nexus. Well, kabam, zip it! First said the team's aware of the issue and working on getting a fix pushed out for it. Afterward we'll be working to sending out the remaining crystal to anyone who's missed it. Well, we do know that within that 2-hour time frame that it went live, it was corrected, and those of you who got it first got to buy it again. But finally, days and days and days later, 5 days later, he has come back to say the team's still working through the processes for making sure they get to everyone correctly, but they should be going out, as in the missing crystal, to everyone who's missing them next week. So it's Wednesday. Next week would be, 5 to 7 days from now. So it doesn't have the turnaround time that I know quite a few people were hoping for, and I'm guessing that some of those people are now going to be commenting, if I have to wait another 7 days for what should have been given to me last week, you should give us the full 2-pack of crystals, not just 1. Now, Kabam can't legally agree to that because then they're giving people more value for what they paid for than people who didn't get the bug. But in a perfect world, you'd get, at least some kind of hidden RNG where suddenly it was a loaded 5 and 6 star champion crystal as compensation. But you know what it's going to be. You're going to wait until next week. You're going to open the crystal. It's going to be all 3 stars. And then you're going to feel like you just got, screwed over, which I guess technically maybe you did. All right, YouTube. Well, that is the update. I'm sorry for those of you who behind the scenes have, pushed back on me for not covering this beforehand, but I wanted this post to be what I talked about. And until that post appeared, I was going to stay silent and just communicate with you behind the scenes off of my channel. Again, it's all about growth on the channel. Do my best to just read. Hard to say something's clickbait when you're just reading a post versus speculating on your own agenda potentially, which could get you easily in trouble. And I've got a big foot and I've got a big mouth, but if I keep putting my foot in my mouth, eventually I'm not going to be able to talk.